All right. Okay. I just had to edit something. I just had to edit something real quick. So I'll have a poster presentation. Um, next week. I just saw a message from the girlfriend being shy and nervous. But I have a poster presentation next week. By the way, T minus 359. And yeah, I need to just rehearse real quick, do some practice presenting the poster. So that's what I'm going to do here. Other life lessons I've learned in the past like 24 hours. Don't procrastinate on things. Even if you're scared of doing things, just do it. Not because you should like forcefully do things, but it's better to fail and figure out what you need to like change or get better at so you can set yourself up for success than it is to stay paralyzed in taking an action or not taking an action. Like just do something and figure out, you'll know soon enough like what you need to do or what direction you need to go in. Yeah. Don't stay paralyzed is the takeaway I've gotten. And just be prepared for all of the crap that's going to come up with your mind because, okay, you make the decision, you're super nervous and like it's not the right decision and this means so many things about you because you're a this kind of person and it going this way means that you're not that kind of person anymore. As our feelings, and our ego or sense of self, our the sense of I. So our feelings, our ego, and then our intellect being kind of running rampant with the emotions and ego kind of feeding it or bullying it around. So make a decision and be prepared for all of your emotions and ego to activate. And just let it do its thing. Notice it go quickly. I have something to kind of present real quick, so give me a moment. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Okay. So overall, we found a preliminary effect of inhibition control being a potential predictor of sentence processing performance, particularly in the design generation task. Now, how did we get there and what does that mean? Let's set the scene. Language comprehension relies on multiple systems, including our hearing faculties, working memory, and executive function, particularly inhibition control. As we age, these systems can decline, which may impact how we use context to understand language. Prior research suggests inhibition helps suppress irrelevant information, so variance in inhibition may influence how effectively. So variance and inhibition may influence how effectively we use semantic context. There we go. This brings us to our study where we tested 20 neurotypical young adults using both language and cognitive tasks. For language, participants completed sentence completion tasks that varied in semantic congruency. For cognition, we measured inhibition and executive function using tasks like design generation, Stroop, and Flanker. We then analyzed whether performance on the cognitive task predicted differences in how participants use semantic context in the sentence task. We then analyzed whether performance on these cognitive tasks predicted differences in how participants use semantic context in the sentence task. Overall, cognitive performance was not a strong predictor of context use. However, design generation stood out as it emerged as a statistically significant predictor of performance. That said, this effect was modest and should again be considered preliminary. As for future directions, this work was part of a larger project set to include older adults age 70 and above. The data was collected from these young adults. The data collected from these young adults will then be analyzed alongside the older adults' data, where we are more likely to see significant differences, where we are hopeful to see more significant differences. Or we are hopeful to see more significant differences. All right. I think that's pretty good. I just need to practice saying it more and like feeling out my cadence with the whole thing. But I think I have the words that I want to say down. So I'm not going to just sit here and like continuously say this here. But yeah, I'm going to practice saying this some more, editing some things. I'm going to make myself say this in front of others just so I'm practicing, the situation, which is I'm going to be presenting in person to people. So you should practice like how you're going to perform with the performance, making your practice as having your practice environment be as similar as possible as your performance environment. There we go. Yes. You don't want to practice only by yourself, because then you're not training yourself to be ready for the performance environment of a crowd and people watching you. Yeah, I find that's helpful for me. So yeah, T-minus 359. I'll see you tomorrow. Stop recording.